Ever since the leaked draft of a Supreme Court decision regarding Roe v. Wade leaked, there's been an explosion of discussion all across the country, liberals and conservative, those who are pro-choice, those who are anti-abortion. We've also seen the reaction from the Supreme Court. They've erected barriers around the Supreme Court to keep folks out. But this is the same Supreme Court, though, that previously ruled about buffer zones against abortion clinics. Now we have the United States Senate passing by unanimous consent, increasing the security protection for Supreme Court justices and their families. But this is the same Supreme Court that ruled that it was protected free speech to protest outside of the homes of abortion providers. Why is good for the goose and not good for the gander? Joining us right now is Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley from Massachusetts. Glad to have you back on the show. Don't you find that to be interesting, that the Supreme Court could make these decisions, but then go, oh, but that doesn't apply to us. Applies to the rest of y'all, but doesn't apply to us.
Look, peaceful protest and a healthy democracy is certainly fine. That should not come at the expense and the safety of any person or their family. But I would say that it is telling that they would want to move with urgency on that instead of moving with urgency on the Women's Health Protection Act and protecting abortion rights, which is health care. And this is very consistent. You know, with this Senate, we have seen an undermining of progress and a steadfast obstruction of justice. I'm of the opinion and the experience that this Senate has had their foot on the neck of Black America and their knee on my body.
When you make that point about how fast they move, that was something that people made a comment about yesterday. Boy, that was real quick. Unanimous consent, no objection at all. And look, I'm all about keeping public officials safe, but the reality is we have seen peaceful protests. Senator Chuck Schumer commented today that he is protests outside of his home 3 to 4 days a week. And he said he's gotten used to that. But then now you have Senator Susan Collins, who called the cops because someone actually put in crayon on the sidewalk near her home, protecting a woman's right to an abortion. I mean, my goodness, is Susan Collins now turning into a Karen? You're calling the cops because someone wrote some comments in chalk on the sidewalk?
Again, it's telling that this is what they would like to fast track instead of all of the other issues which they have not advanced that are consistent with the will of majority of American people, and also that we desperately need. Everything from restoring voting rights to climate justice, now to agency over our bodies, bodily autonomy, reproductive freedom and justice. Or the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. So again, if you're not outraged, you're not paying attention. And what I want is I look forward to this vote coming to the floor so that we can get every senator on record. What side of history are you on? You have undermined progress, obstructed justice time and time again. You have another opportunity to do the right thing. Consistent with the will of the people. Majority of Americans support Roe v. Wade and do not want it overturned. So let's get a vote, get folks on the record, and if they're on the wrong side of history, then let's put them on notice. Because again, at this point, when you look at the layered systematic oppression and denial of Black America, from voting rights to the George Floyd Justice and Policing Bill, and now to this issue. Roland, let's remember the history of this. Abortion bans and this protest is rooted in white supremacy, and Black women have disproportionately bore the brunt of this every time. We have experienced forced sterilization, forced hysterectomies. We have record high maternal morbidity. And now we're looking at a landscape where Black women and the most marginalized, low-income, indigenous, disabled, LGBT could be living under a state of forced birth. And then, Roland, we have done nothing on universal child care in pre-K, and we've done nothing on paid leave.
Well, that's one of the points that I have long stated. Former NFL player Benjamin Watson has a documentary out that deals with this whole issue of abortion, and he interviewed me for the documentary. And I said, nah, I think these folks are more anti-abortion than they are pro-life. I said, because you can't be the governor of Mississippi, Tate Reeves, and you're commenting on this, but then you have done nothing about the infant mortality rate in Mississippi. You have all these conservatives who are talking about the importance of getting rid of Roe v. Wade, but they've been quiet about black women who have died during childbirth. Then, of course, when you talk about prenatal care, when you talk about Head Start. So I said, what is it? Do you only care about the fetus in the womb, but once it is a child, then you don't give a damn?
But Roland, that's the point. The hypocrisy and the contradictions abound. You cannot lecture folks about civil liberties, and then the thing that is most critical to my freedom, my liberation, is agency and autonomy over my own body.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. Folks, Black Star Network is here.
Oh, no punches!
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?